Taurus, I hear you. What about me, hermatologist? What about me? I want a reading. I need to know what's going on. It's a pivotal time. We just stepped into Tokyo Q2. The energies of madness. I've got you. Chill out. Relax, alright, mate? I got ya. Let's go. Let's have it. Let's have it large. Now I'm getting Kevin and Perry? Have it large? If you know about British films, there's a lot going on in my mind about British films at this time. Kevin and Perry, do it large. Let's go. Okay, if that's significant, go and watch that shit. That is an old school classic. Yeah? Okay, when they go to Ibiza and they see eyeball Paul. Right, I'm not going to get carried away with old school classics. But let's go straight away. You're saying, have I got any messages for you? Haven't I got any downloads or anything to see? The only download or message I got was that you was rushing me along to come and do your readings. I'm here now, alright? Alright, slow down with all that telepathy over there. I hear you, alright? I'm here now. Let's go. Oh, okay. Sacral chakra, accepting. You are now accepting your shadow. You're accepting your shadow in a beautiful way, in a way that you weren't before. That's why you're pushing me to this degree. Come on, hermatologist. Tell me what's going on. I need to know. I want to know. You want to know so badly because you're aware that you've made a shift on the timeline, because you are now finally, in this lifetime, truly accepting your shadow. I'm assuming that you've just gone and watched my collective reading about the time is now to break those ancestral curses, when I go in about my spiritual life and lineage and all the curses I had to break to get to where I am at now, to liberate my throat chakra into the degree of which I truly have, and stepped into the light with me and my Lord, right? You want to step into the light with you and your Lord, I'm hearing. You're coming on the journey, you're ascending, you're about this life. We're looking at financial and material changes. Yeah, you want to change the circumstances that you've been in. A lot of financial struggle, a lot of frustration, a lot of withdrawal, a lot of praying. I see you monking out. So I see you sitting at beds of water. You might have a lake, not a lake nearby, a pond. I see someone sitting at a koi pond, water around you in your kind of home environment. Could be a little one, but there's water there, and this might be some fishes in. I see koi fish. So I see you sitting with koi fish, very significant as well, koi fish. Go and look at the koi fish spirit animal. Koi fish is your spirit animal at this time. Very lucky, because that is a very prosperous fish. You've been going through financial difficulty, financial changes, material changes, hardship in your life. The koi fish is an incredible spirit totem to carry you on the journey at this time. There's also a need for you potentially to travel to Japan. A lot of talk about Japan at this time and how important it will be for you to go on a spiritual journey to Japan. Oh, they're giving me, you going to Japan would be like you traveling through space-time. Oh, do you know why I think they say that? Because there's a lot of futuristic elements in Japan. There's a really nice underground culture as well, if you're lucky enough to get into the right places, of like music and dancehall and bashment, like Jamaican culture in Japan, like China, Tokyo, like, oh, in my head I'm getting Tokyo Drift, but one of my old school classic favourite movies of all time is Tokyo Drift. But it's that edgy tech side of stuff, and I mean, I want to talk about VR and AR and the edgy cinematics, and the fact that you're everywhere you go, there's just massive screens and advertisements, and it's like you're going to Times Square all over the fucking place in Tokyo and Japan and all those areas. I'm also getting Bangkok as well. So just hold those Asian locations in and look into the fact that future holidays should potentially be, I get in my head, tour of the world, tour of the globe, a need for you to start travelling a lot more and getting out to these different locations. And right away, I've got Japan, Tokyo, Bangkok, yeah? Korea as well. Something about Korea and the confinements of where you can go into Korea, up into the line where it gets to the point where you're not allowed any further and you wouldn't be welcome. But like exploring that terrain, that side of the globe that you haven't really been to, I would get over there, okay? Right now, oh sorry, not even right now, in the past, let's make it clear, like I feel like you're aware that right now you are no longer in conflict and defeat. That's exactly where you were. Passion ignited again. You've got this new lease of life and passion, but there are still some obstacles that you are overcoming in relation to love as well, because we've got the love card coming out next to that. Love begins. So, oh, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, right? Because I'm getting the same ideology about cracks in a pavement or stepping in poo, right? Stepping in dog shit over and over again is what I said to Sagittarius the other day. And it's a situation of, in order for you to make sure you stop stepping in dog shit, you're going to need to look where you're stepping, right? In order for you to not fall in the cracks in the pavement, you're going to need to step over the cracks in the pavement. Now, that is related to love, right? If you keep having shit relationships, shit love, you keep tripping on pebbles, keep tripping on relationships, keep tripping on love, right? Oh my God, what's that song, Tripping? Is it by Ella Ray? Tripping on you. I can't, sorry, that's so Cockney melody from UK. I can't do it. But it's tripping about, like, you're tripping on someone, or always tripping up on love, or I want to say blockades surrounding, oh my God, and the Lovers card's out. It's blockades around love, okay? Really intensive thing for me to say, isn't it? Blockades around love. It's not cute terminology or idea that you want to hear. So we're going to look at that a little bit more. Before we do, let's also see that you are standing your ground in a situation. You have patiently been planning in a situation, and whilst you've been patiently planning, there has been this disruption. This disruption looks like it has been rooted in finance, and you have a firm foundation. You have been working on your root chakra. I feel like you made it to the heart chakra, yeah? And then out of nowhere, all the work you've done on your heart chakra, oh, I've never seen it like this, how interesting. All the work you've done on your heart chakra, oh, they're showing me one of those machines where you hit you hit a giant hammer and you try and get it as high as you can, and if you hit the bell at the top, it goes ding, 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 winner. You've only ever been able to hit the hammer as hard enough to get to the heart chakra on the grid. And you can always win a heart chakra prize. Oh, you're a winner. You get a pink, you get a red, you get a green heart chakra. But the thing is, it always falls back down from the heart chakra to the solar plexus, to the sacral, to the root. And you're always sitting at the root, hitting that hammer again, getting to the sacral. Solar plexus ain't even out. Roots out, sacral's out, heart's out. We ain't got. Oh, fuck off. As I said that, I said, let me look at the bottom of the deck. Solar plexus is at the bottom of the deck. I'm still about to shuffle some more. It ain't come out yet. So by the end, I hope that it's out. But that means you haven't mastered the confidence of the situation. You haven't mastered confidence around your finances. You haven't mastered confidence around relationships and love in relationships, how you view love, your perceptions of love, tripping on someone or tripping on ideologies of what love is. I just keep getting tripping on you energy. That's Ella Ray, Tripping. Go and check that song out. I can't even remember the words, but it's like tripping on you and something like that. Okay, I'm going to keep going. In my head, I want to pull out that solar plexus for you, but that's not my job. And even if I pull it out and I put it on the grid, that's falsifying the spiritual truth. It's got to come out on its own merit. You know what I mean? So I'm not even going to try. But the fact that I said, hold on, you keep hitting the hammer, and you only get to a certain amount of point, and the solar plexus ain't even out, and then I look at the bottom of the deck and solar plexus is there. I mean, that's real synchronicity in its finest. Let's keep going. Oh, they're saying stop. No, they're saying go pull on the other deck. It's about you being wise, yeah? Wisdom comes from having confidence, yeah? If you listen to the Time Is Now collective message that I put out, you'll really understand how important it is for you to break curses and believe in yourself. It's the disbelief that will destroy everything that you have in your life, straight up and out. It's this, if you don't believe, you've got nothing. If you're surrounded by, last year I had to master, it was the year of the third eye. Yeah, and I had to master keeping my third eye open. Painful because I didn't even want it to be open. I wanted it to be closed, but it's been open since 2016, so I had no choice. I have a mission. So as I've had to keep my third eye open now all of this time and just own the fact that that's what needs to happen, I've seen everything in this lifetime that I don't want to see. I've been forced into rooms, arenas, social settings that I don't really want to be in, but I had no choice because I had a higher mission. So in that breath, the only thing that kept me going was the fact that I knew my solar plexus was on point. I was confident in my belief system. And the main thing was, for the mission, the hypothesis for last year for me was rooted in the third eye philosophy, was the simple fact that I had to remove any disbelievers from my life. I could not. God refused. He said no. If they do not believe in you, and we're not doing it, third strike and you're out. Fuck all that. It's long. We haven't got time. There's too much shit on the plate. Time is but a mere illusion, but is that clock fucking ticking? And is doomsday on the approach, mate? We haven't got time to waste. There is no time to waste here. So it's a simple situation. If you're surrounded by disbelievers and they do not believe, get them out. Get them away. No disrespect, love and light. We love you all. The simple fact is, if there is a lack of belief here, and that belief is infiltrating your ecosystem and spreading it's like a stink bomb. Disbelief is like a fucking stink bomb. Let that shit off in your ecosystem and you're going to smell it from a mile off. And it's going to fuck up the space for ages until that stench clears up. You don't need it. It depletes the mission. It depletes the purpose. It depletes your spiritual ascension. It prevents that machine that you're hitting every now and then trying to get to the bell at the top. It prevents it moving past your heart chakra. Because your heart can't stay truly activated and move to the throat and beyond when you ain't got the confidence. And you can't have the confidence when your ecosystem is full of disbelieving stink bombs. No, it's impossible. It's impossible. Got to get those chakras right. And the thing is, the simple fact of the matter is I can pretty much tell the solar plexus ain't coming out today for you. So that's you wanted to know, what is it, hermatologist? What do I need to know? Haven't you got any specific downloads and words from me from the divine? Yeah, I do. Sort your fucking solar plexus out. Work on that confidence. Go over to her members only content and go and look at all the meditation and high frequency pieces that are out over there that are yellow, titled solar plexus vibration, and then channel that shit. Play that shit throughout the night time. If you're working in an office, you've got your headphones in or whatever the case may be, you've got music in the background, you can put on your TV, run that rhythm. Run that high vibrational frequency. And obviously, bear in mind the most obvious thing of all, it's not about playing frequencies around the yard and meditating and thinking that that's going to equate to ascension, because clearly it is not. It is about doing the inner work. So break through any limitations. Start writing a list of all the things that you're shook of, all the things that you're scared of, all the things that are keeping you conflicted and bound, all the things that blocked you last year or the year before, in your lifetime up until this point, because life is done as we know it. The old version of self is now gone. So as you move into the new you, let's just do a little bit of reflection. Write down a list of all the things that have blocked you in your life because you lack confidence to do so. Write a list so you can see it face on. And then you need to archive that shit as well and pull it out every year. And get on your knees and pray to it, to be quite honest with you, so you don't go back to that vibration. You need to hold that up and write a specific kind of note or sign off on it and say, we're signing off on all of these lack vibrations. We're signing off on all of this lack of confidence. We're signing off on a broken solar plexus. Because we can't have that again, yeah? That contract's done. No more broken solar plexus over here. It can't run, yeah? Write down a list of all the things that blocked you from moving forward confidently, and then make sure you start to mitigate that in the 3D. Work on that for the rest of your life, realistically. That's how devoted you have to be on the journey of chakra work, is to devote yourself to those chakras, because you're devoting yourself to you, to make sure that you don't keep creating these same inferences in your reality, because it's got to suck to keep hitting the heart chakra and then falling back down to the root in seconds. Do you know how much effort it takes to pick up that giant wooden mallet and bang it on that bell to try and get all the way to the top of the crown, and you can't even fucking hit that crown because you can't move past the heart? And the way it just flies back down from the heart to the solar plexus to the sacral to the root. The maddest thing is, when it's coming back down, because I can see this vision clearly in my head, like you're at a fairground, just keeping hitting that thing, trying to get to the top of the bell, right? Because you win a jackpot prize if you get to the top. Every time you hit the green, it falls back down so quickly you don't even see the yellow. That's why the yellow's not out. Imagine it's falling so quickly down the moment you hit it that you don't even get to see the yellow show up on the grid. Your confidence ain't showing up on the grid. That's a really intense thing to say if you really understand the context of what it means to be on the grid. Matrix ideologies in relation to social media as well, online, offline, VR, AR, metaverse realities, avatars, all of that. Let's go. Now I'm pulling another deck because actually I heard that you asked for this deck. Oh, okay, I'm going to put these cards back here. Let me make sure no cards are in reverse. Give me a sec because this is looking serious and I don't want to say the wrong thing because the deck's not in order. Yeah, so there's a few cards that I see here that are just shuffling around out of the wrong way. But today I asked what cards am I using, and they specifically said they want this deck. They want this deck. This is the most 3D deck I have, and it pulls on specific stuff in reality. And considering you've got financial material stuff coming out and stuff going on in love, I mean, I feel like you would really relate to what's going on in here. So I hear you requesting this deck specifically in order for you to look at what's going on in your life. Okay, first card coming out, child, yeah? So we're looking at your inner child specifically in relation to accepting your financial circumstances and the journey that you've been on financially, mentally and spiritually and emotionally, rooted in childhood trauma, rooted in acceptance, right? Then we've got main female coming out. Now that's either you or someone you're dealing with. There's a main female coming out. And there's a message of concern as well, accepting some kind of message of concern coming from a main female. And then we're looking at theft as well. A thief card is coming out. With the thief card, we're talking about a change in fate, a change in life. And then we've got a courtship energy out, marriage here. Yeah, rotted, bumba-clarted. That's what I will say, because now I'm looking at the thief energy with marriage, courtship and change. Whatever's gone on in this obstacle and challenges in regards to love begins, the Lovers card, harmony in a relationship. I'm looking at two people coming together, putting their hands together, palm to palm, eye to eye, third eye to third eye. It's a spiritual union more than anything else, right? Bottom of the deck, imprisonment as well. So either way, there's been some kind of constraint. It's a difficult energy for me to open up to and look into. To be honest with you, I want to skirt. I want to leave. Second time I've done a Taurus reading in the last week, and I've come to some energy that I would rather not address. Interesting, because other signs and other readings, I don't have this desire inside to skirt it and actually not go there. Which is interesting, because once again, that suggests that the confidence isn't there. The confidence to actually look at this isn't there, and as a result, with the lack of confidence, you're sitting on truth and acceptance that needs to be healed in order for you to move forward towards your passion and remove any unstable energy that has existed in the past, right? Conflict and defeat is now sitting here in between next to obstacles and challenges, surrounded by a whole marriage, a courtship. A marriage is one relationship, a courtship is another relationship. A thief is also here. The thief is next to the courtship card. So this talks to me about third-party situations in a relationship. We're talking about divine masculine, divine feminine, karmic energy here. We're looking at a relationship that involves three people and changes, moving on. There's a whole image here of someone moving out, carrying all their luggage and all of their belongings, rehousing, but being imprisoned, feeling imprisoned by this shift, this change, this move. And at the end of the day, it looks like, I don't know what to say, because there's a marriage, but then there's a courtship. So it's kind of, this marriage is leading into a courtship, but then the thief's here. So it looks like stealing a courtship, stealing a connection, something in love that is rooted way back in your childhood, about relationships, rooted in marriage and rooted in partnerships. You may have grown up in a family dynamic where affairs existed. I want to say sex slaves, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so that talks to me about sexual innuendos, sexual ideologies that stem from ideas of what it means to be masculine and feminine in the relationship, the role of the woman, the role of the man, what it means to be married. We're looking at kind of affairs and infidelity from a very childlike standpoint. Does that make sense? We're looking at it from a traumatic standpoint, where something has occurred in your childhood. Because I can't say in the now moment that you're in a marriage and you've done this, or you're in a courtship or you're done this, or there's been an affair, or there's been this stuff that's happened. I can't say any of that. But I can say your views on marriage, your views on courtships, your views on what relationships should be, and third parties and others, and how a home life should look like, and what a family makeup should look like, and how you should behave and exist and do all of this stuff, has been some kind of there's been some kind of lock and imprisonment on love in your life because of these childhood ideologies. From what you've seen in your childhood, that is very, very incumbent of a conflicted, obstacle-fueled lifestyle in love. It's like you've taken on that challenge for yourself. I also really perceive the ideology that you've been surrounded by masculines that look at women as sexual objects. And because why I just got sex slaves flying out of nowhere. And I've got a main female here, where and there's conversation that has been brought to your attention from a main female that probably seems to be out of the ordinary, especially in relation to your upbringing and expectation of what women should be. And as a result, there's been a lot of confusion in the mind space about how to perceive all of this, and as a result it's awakened you to love in a way in which you haven't before. But in the same breath that you've been awakened to love, have you also imprisoned yourself from the ideologies of love because of the inability to change the infrastructure of what you know to be love and what you know to be true in relationships? Because I can see a domineering masculine energy here, or if play it as you will, because if you're the feminine in this, then you've said something to a masculine. If you're the masculine in this, you've received a message from a feminine. And either way, the ideology surrounding all of this now is like there's phrase everywhere around a connection because of and what is that? What am I turning? It's like decompartmentalized, like everything's so finely tuned into a box of the right color and the right code and the right expectation that there is no room for liberation. There is no room for freedom. Yeah? Talk a lot about degrees of freedom in some content and publications I've got out on the reports section on the website, so feel free to check that out. Understand what are your degrees of freedom, yeah? And what do you value, yeah? Because that's what's important here. Because it's like it's a situation of, I'm looking at two sides of a coin. If you're the masculine, you look at women as a sexual object, and it's like, okay, do this for me sexually, do this for me for sexually, treat you in this way, like sexual desires that are just like really dominant, maybe, or like you just expect a woman to just kind of be your bitch and to be your sex slave a little bit. I'm going to where the truth is. Sorry, take it or don't. But then in the reverse, yeah. Lord help us all. In the reverse, we've got a female who also feels like her role is to be a sex slave to a certain degree as well. So submit to the man, get on her hands and knees and overgive to a certain degree, prepared to be whipped and chained and locked in the cellar, like locked in the dungeon, tied to the board, to the cross for the sacrifice. I mean, it's all at that energy. It's a bit saucy and fruity and like, damn, okay, if that's how you're getting down, I see you. But on the same breath, it's like, okay, how on earth is that rooted in childhood ideologies of the worst kind? How are we balancing that in the now moment? Because the truth of the matter is, in the now moment, there is change and shifting in your views around love, but there is also imprisonment in the heart, because some of this needs to be purified. Some of this needs to be brought to the light. Some of this needs to be seen through a new lens. You can be freaky in any sense of the word. Go and check out my content I've got out talking about Madonna's a whore now. Talking about the Madonna whore complex that Freud introduced many years ago. But we talk about these ideologies of what it means to be man and woman, what it means to give sexually. In my head, I'm getting all this Carl Gray stuff. Loads of stuff around Carl Gray, and there's so many different movies, so many different ideologies that I can pull on from the series. But it's about a rich man in a really wealthy position, and this woman comes in, and then it's kind of like she's been put in this position to just be his bitch. And then at one point they have this business meeting around the table, and in it there's all these agreements around, well, I want you to be my person, but you will not sleep in the same room as me, because I don't sleep with anyone. Nobody touches me in this way because I don't like it. This is the terms of our contract. And they're having a serious business meeting in the office while the receptionist and admin is walking in and out, serving food and being nice. And but the truth of the matter is, the contract's all about sex. It's all about submitting to the dominant. And then it's all about, I want anal, I want fisting, I want this, I want that, all of these agreements. And for that to come out with a sex slave card, also there's a movie out called Slave, with, what's the guy in it? It's not Bruce Lee at all, is it? Oh, who is it? It was so racist to just say Bruce Lee. It's not. There's more than one Asian man in film and action. But I can't get his name. Is it Jet Li? Is that a person? He's also in the movie with Aaliyah. That's what I know. What's it called? Someone Must Die. What's that movie called? Oh, it's an epic movie. I need to go and watch that now. The movie with Aaliyah. Romeo Must Die. Romeo Must Die. He's the star. He's the male star of Romeo Must Die, and he's also the star of Slave. And he's tied up with a collar around his neck that shocks him anytime he doesn't do what the master wants him to do. Basically, that's significant. Those ideologies are significant. So that's serious dominance. Serious dominance. Either for this feminine or for this masculine, but either way, it's really, I want to keep saying incumbent, it's really significant on what you've grown up seeing and what you've been taught. Once again, I feel like you've surrounded yourself with a lot of masculine influences, the male or female, or the feminine surrounded herself with a lot of submissive women. I must get on my knees and suck your dick. I must cook you a 3-course meal. I must scrub and clean while you sit there doing nothing all day. My God, I must serve you. And you're like, yeah, you must be my bitch. Get your clothes off. Let me whip you with my belt. I don't know, like, it depends how far you want to go, but the truth of the matter is, it's deep like that. And that's an ancestral curse right here for you and the feminine, and or like whatever side you're on, right? Whoever you're dealing with in this context, wherever this love is stemming from, a past relationship, your ideas of relationships, anyone that you're going to be with in the future, anyone that you've been in with the past, the common issue, the common denominator is that relationship, those ideologies, because it's so fucking shitty when, and I relate, I come from that kind of background whereby I've been told to be the submissive, and I've told to be whatever a man wants me to be, I should be, and to show up in a very prim and proper way to accommodate the masculine. That's why I'm such a rebel now, and I move so different, because I realise actually I'm a grown adult now and I'm allowed to be free. And actually, it's like, don't over-sexualise yourself, like really, so like keep it covered, be an absolute nun, but at the same time, do whatever your man wants. Even if your man wants to go out and cheat and fuck other bitches, even if your man doesn't do this or that, provided that your man provides you with the money and looks after you, which no man has ever been able to do, because I've always been the one fucking breaking the bread, being the fucking provider in the better position. I'm paying all the bills, doing all the shit, cooking, doing all the sexual acts, because I am that boss bitch. But it's about finding the balance between the two, right? Because you can be too far left and too far right, and no one is ever going to be able to truly align if you can't bring that into being. And depending on your age as well, right? Because age is a factor in this kind of conversation, whereby you could be raised in a situation whereby, once again, I'm talking about these masculine men that are looking at women like, oh, look at this, a bit of that, oh, look at her ass, look at her tits, look at this, want a bit of that, oh, yeah. Sexualizing women all the time in a really degrading way that leaves no room and space for genuine love, other than just to glorify the woman as a sexual piece or to put on the mantle. Yeah, a trophy wife, a trophy woman isn't really gonna satisfy you for the rest of your life, if we're being honest here, because there's only so much you can do with a trophy. Tell me all the things you can do with a trophy versus what you could do with actual something really genuinely tangible. That's a transmutable energy, not a solidified material object. Yeah? Same for the woman, if you're tapping in and tuning in on this. Yeah, you're not looking for a trophy husband from the feminine standpoint. You're looking for someone to govern and ordain your activities day to day. Why on earth, as a feminine, would you feel like the be end and all for you, in reverse to the masculine? Bearing in mind, your masculine wants you to just very simply be a trophy, to sit on the fucking mantle, whereas you actually just want to be governed and controlled and told what to do by the masculine, when actually the truth of the matter is the independence and the masculine already exists inside of you in an energy thought form, yin and yang, light and dark. So it's like the feminine is that I'm willing to sacrifice all of my life, everything I have, all of my independence, all of my well-being, all of my own destiny and purpose and all this goodness, so I can just give you what you need, so I can get on my hands and knees. So when you walk through the door at the end of the day, there I am with my tongue out on my hands and knees, ready for you to put the collar on my neck and walk me around the fucking garden, babe. Where is the stability in that? I mean, that's really rude, because there are so many dominant and submissive roles out there, and I know people who love a little bit of latex, and you go to their house and they're walking around and their husband's on leads and they're on collars, and that's the fetish thing. I did put out some content for you guys ages ago about dominant and submissive roles, but at the end of the day, where is the balance here? I can't believe we're at a 30-minute reading over here as well. We're going to have to cut this off now. I can't be doing this for all signs. So at the end of the day, let me see if anything wants to come out before we leave. Main man. How funny now. Now the main man's coming out. I put the main woman back and all those cards back, and now the main man's coming out. So this story is important. Like, well done, Taurus, for making a request, because I heard you loud and clear, and now there's clearly a story, because no one ever gets this much time. So it might be a long day for me. Let's see. Main male poverty coming out. So financial struggle, again, thoughts about poverty as well. Woman in the background, thoughts about a woman in the back of your mind as well, and about financial standing, expectations about money as well, message of concern. You've got concerns, this woman's got concerns. We're looking at two people with high level concerns. Coming out above all of this is the inner child, again on the bottom of the deck, and a card that just fell on the floor is higher honor. Higher honor, yeah? Wow. Fuck. I'm getting two messages with this. I'm looking at it as, from the feminine standpoint, the feminine in the situation wants to honour the masculine and also wants to be honoured. I feel like there's... Oh, it sounds sinister. I don't want to say it. Okay. Okay, the divine's like, bitch, you're just preaching about confidence. Say it. Taurus, why is it always your readings? I'm blaming you. Outrightly blaming you. You're projecting over here, making me not want to speak up. It's certain elements in your reading. No, with any other sign, I can outrightly say I've got a relationship with every single sign at this point, and you're the only sign that makes me want to recoil and not say shit when I see it come up in the cards, because I'm like, oh, I'd rather not say it to Taurus, because I know you don't want to hear it. Then why are you listening? Why are you here listening, screaming for readings, and then you're trying to boycott? Don't boycott the truth. We need to get your solar plexus right. Stop running. You got me shook. Right, okay, because the high honor card, right, the point I was going to make is it looks like the feminine finds high honor in taking on that position, okay? Victorian times, back in the day, women were fulfilled by just being at home and making bread for the husband to come home to. And yeah, that's so cute. Wow, awesome. I'm happy for anyone that likes that ideology, but for me it's like, ugh, really? Please shoot me in the fucking head. But the truth of the matter is, that is an ideology for some. I don't mean to cause offence to anyone. It's a beautiful ideology if you can be a stay-at-home mum and a stay-at-home wife. It's so lovely. It's a glorious life, and yes, wow, beautiful. But anyway, the truth of the matter is, in line with that, I feel some people find fulfilment in being somewhat degraded. And being kind of led around the house on a lead, or taking on those submissive roles, or being in the dungeon and taking on those roles. There's sexiness in that. Yeah, we can easily be turned on by that. Role play is a great thing. Cosplay, all that sex, role play stuff. I'm here for it. I really, really am, right? But something has to come to an end in regards to the perception of it all, right? We're looking at the perception of it all, because we have to see, you have to grow up. You have to grow up. If you've just moved house, right, and there's been a change in your housing situation and you're more independent, you or the other, right, there's changes in accommodation, there's changes in your ecosystem, there's changes in the way in which things have been constructed in the past, and there's maturity in that. Independence, being alone for a period of time, finding yourself again after a collapse. You could have moved out of a family home, lived with parents, friends, roommates, bandmates. Yeah? Someone was in a band? Oh, I'm getting like a non-binary guy, right? I don't even want to say that you're feminine, because I feel like you're not really, or I feel like you're moving into more of a retro trend punk space. This could be for one of you specifically, I receive, but I see you kind of like punking out, loving the shit that you do, right? And then you're just kind of fucking loads of chicks, and you do like to put like multiple chicks on collars. Oh, don't start me off as an account that keeps showing up on my TikTok. On my Twitter. I don't understand why my algorithm is showing me what it is. I'm embarrassed. Like, when you look at the algorithm, you can't blame the platform. You have to blame yourself, because whatever you're watching somehow is spiraling around back to you. Somehow this is what you've created your algorithm to be. So some way, shape or form, you must like this. And the stuff showing up on my algorithm is these fucking chicks that are walking around town on leads. They've got OnlyFans accounts and they're just walking around town, barking at each other on leads while men are holding them on leads, walking around drinking out of dog bowls. Fucking humiliating for any woman. Any feminist out there, I'm like, my God, why are you fighting for feminism? What's the point when you've got women like this out here walking on their hands and knees on leads by men? It's a mockery. You know, and okay, it's a turn on, it's a fetish. I get it. I love fetish. I study fetish. It's cool. You have to try every single fetish at least once to know if you like it and if you're down for that shit. And like explore fetishes. I'm down. I'm so down. But it's kind of like you've had to go through whatever this cycle was, right? And it's like someone who lives a high-flying life and you're out here and you're fucking and you're ducking and you're living your best life and this bitch is willing to do this, and I'm going to say it how you would say it. This bitch is down for this slag's down for this, that slapper over there wants a bit of that. Go for it. Oh, yeah, this is fun. All of this out there kinky, freaky shit turning up. But the truth of the matter is, how much of that is rooted in maturity and the new you and in true independence? Because actually I think there's fulfillment in doing all this stuff, fulfillment that you get from the way in which you treat women or degrade women or the way in which men degrade you. I'm not even going to talk about any more of my own personal perspectives on this because it's going to get really blurry and I'm heading out now. But as I get prepared to leave and close out from all of this, because I can't have a long conversation about this kind of stuff at this time, I'd rather do it as a collective message. Taurus can't get all of this. So with that in mind, specifically for you guys, I'll come out and I'll do some more fetish readings or something else. I'd rather share this on a larger broadcast than give Taurus ages and ages on this content, because we're not going to get the traction. It's a very important conversation we're having over here, which could be shared a lot wider, especially in relation to technology and porn, which I've got a real interest in at this time. So just keep your eyes peeled for some juicy stuff on that over here on the Hermatology Me YouTube, which is at linked to the top of this page as well, yeah? But the gift is in you growing up and understanding how to bring that into reality. Bare different porn genres I want to talk about now. I'm going to hold off. But what is your favourite porn genre? How many porn genres have you explored? I can't believe we're going here in conversation, but clearly we are. And how do you bring that into reality, into being, into a healthy dynamic? Because as as young adults, when we're legally allowed, when you step into the arena and you start understanding sex from puberty age, and we learn it in school, that's my point, you start thinking, oh, I'm into this, so this is my type. When's the first time you ever watched porn in your whole entire life? What age were you? I'm sure you were under the age of legal consent, is also my point here. So, and then your brain gets skewed to a certain kind of viewing point and perspective, and you follow that thread and you follow it into adulthood, and depending on who you date and who you be with, how dominant your ecosystem is and the people within it and what you're encouraged to do, you follow the thread of porn. And then only when you get to independence, and then there's certain relationships you're in and your partner doesn't like to watch porn, and it's a big issue if you watch porn with your partner, and then other people, you watch other relationships you get into, and then you're like, what's your porn fetish? Like, you know someone when you know what their porn style is, basically, in my opinion. If you find out what someone's favourite genre of porn is, you know if you're meant to be with them or not. That's the hermatologist's advice. If you need to know whether or not you should be with someone, the first thing you ask them, would they take the red pill or would they take the blue pill? And that is strike one. If they say blue, then basically end it immediately. I'm not dating anyone who is taking the blue pill. I would rather not. It tells me everything I need to know about you and your character. I'm so sorry. We can't move forward. And then let's talk about your porn genre next. If you pass the test and you take the red pill, then we start talking about exactly what your favourite porn genre is. And then I know how comfortable you are, how freaky you are, how down and comfortable you are, or how regimented and stuck you are. And that is a very important conversation, especially because the sacral's out. I'm sitting here now at 40 minutes into this reading going, why are we so deep on a sexual conversation when this was meant to be a light, and we've got all the career decks out and the sacral's starting the read. And the outcome in the immediate future is passion. And passion and sacral is also grounded and rooted in the sex, in the sacral area. So very interesting how we're having really intensive sexual conversation based on the sacral ideology and about passion and rooted in the love and how you love and obstacles that need to be overcome. Because there is no element of sex that is wrong and unjust. provided it is always consensual. Do you get what I mean? Like, get dirty, get freaky, get frisky. But the truth of the matter is, where are those ideologies stemming from? And are they based on immature ideologies rooted in childhood trauma and immaturity and outdated ideologies that were imprinted on you through your upbringing, versus genuinely being who you are and what you want in an intimate way? Because the card coming out, as I just checked close, is change. Not only are you moving on from a specific career or working style or financial pay bracket or relationship or house, a lot of housing here, 2 cards of housing, moving house. Not only that, changes in law is also here as well, legal agreements. So it could be actually signing a birth certificate, signing a marriage certificate, going in front of the judge, making a commitment to other. We spoke about commitment, didn't we, the other week? Last week we spoke about commitment, and we spoke about eternity, the ring. There we go again. We've got that marriage energy coming back in from the last read that I done for you. And then we've got high honor again. It looks like amazing things are about to happen in your life, but you've got to get shit in check, because whatever's blocking your confidence needs to be checked and dealt with. Leave that shit at the door. Do you remember that meme? Leave that at the door. Is that how it goes? I don't know. Something about leaving it at the door. You got to leave that shit at the door. You can't come in till you leave that shit at the door. Now I'm getting all that Japanese ideology. When you come to someone's house, this is how I roll at my house. As soon as you come in, you take your shoes off. Yeah, it's very respectful. You just come in and take your shoes off and then move through the house humbly. That's a very Japanese culture as well. There's this very specific space that they provide for the shoe area when you come into somebody else's house, and you just immediately remove your shoes and come in cleansed. Yeah, and with that we've got sudden wealth. I'm getting a lot of Tai Chi, Feng Shui energy coming in as well. A lot of Japanese culture, a lot of stuff around Sensi, masters, talisman, totems, significant for you here as well. I feel like when you do start going on holiday around the world a lot more, because believe it or not, we're 41 minutes in, and we did speak about that in the first 2-3 minutes of the transmission. When we spoke about that, and I spoke about your spirit guides being the koi fish, there's a very important relationship that you're going to have with somebody who is Japanese. Is Taiwanese a thing? Because I'm getting that in my head. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I want to keep saying Taiwanese. Significant here. A very important relationship that you're going to have with Japan. Japanese, Taiwanese, that culture. Important for you to understand that you're going to have a sensei or a master or someone highly significant from that walk of life. Beautiful concepts they carry. They're masters of space-time. They know a lot about talismans and totems, and they are the absolute true epitome of avatar state if I've ever seen it. I don't know any other spiritual discipline like the master sensei ideology from from Japanese, Taiwanese kind of culture, whereby it really is sensei and master. Yeah, very, very profound, very, very wholesome, very, very rich, and very, very avatarian, I would like to say. Avatar state. You can see certain people with a Japanese inherent culture, that even the ones that have like the koi fish kind of things coming off of their moustache, the long ones coming down the side, them man there, oh my god, they are the epitome of avatar state. When you look at them as a clairvoyant, real ones, straight away you can see their ascension. You can see their whole, it's like Doctor Strange, you can see their whole force field out in a 3D in the now moment. The way that they carry chi, the way that they channel energy, their whole force field is got their Stargate is visible. Swear to God, their Stargate is visible all the way around their physical form. I don't know any other spiritual discipline that moves like that. So if that's the arena that you're going to, or journey you're being encouraged to go on as an ascension cycle, then wow, that is going to be profound. I'm hella jealous, hella hating over here, like, oh my god. That is a next level of spiritual discipline. Yeah? So as you ascend and you break free of ideologies of what it means to love and have sex and be intimate and also be a little bit freaky and seedy and wild and down and dirty. I mean, there is no wrong, there is no right, there is only truth in line with the Most High, and that is free of ancestral curses and inner child wounding. And you are destined to move in a very fluid, light-hearted, empowering way, managing chi and energy from a sensei master standpoint. But that can only be done when you choose to master your self-confidence and step into the lighter vibration of fluidity and conviction in knowing the true self. You really got to work on that solar plexus so you can get past the heart chakra. You can't get to the throat chakra. I tell everyone all the time, once you bust through the throat chakra, the third eye and the crown are there instantly, same time. It's the final code. Yeah, same way when you hit that heavy hammer on that metal bell, the moment you get close to the top, it shoots to the top. Once you get past the throat chakra bit, once you're almost at the top, it flies up fast. It's the initial heavy weight that you've got to get through. And that's what we're talking about with you here in relationships as well. Yeah? But we've been going nearly an hour now. I've really, really got to go. I hope you found peace in this. Please do hit the like, because this was a heavy transmission. If you stayed to the end, big up your blood clot self. Please do hit me in the comments. Say that you valued this longer form content if you did, because I will do more if you're about this life. But this is a rarity, seriously. I'm clearly on one today. But love and light, Taurus. I'll be back soon with more.